Thank you, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the home of Super Bowl 50, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the London Black Knights and the San Francisco 49ers. Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Chandler Jones. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
First carry for Carlos Hyde. Takes this one up past the 20 after he's able to make a man miss. Call it a 6-yard gain. Still plenty of work to do coming up. 3rd and 14.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Roethlisberger will throw. Out to the flat for Hyde. Big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmaker. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Now a handoff here to his running back. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. Is dealing with a 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. On 4th down, here's the veteran Shane Leckler to punt it away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Play action. Now Trubisky. It's brought in by Kevin White. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
All right, here we go.
Play action. It's Trubisky. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Malcolm Smith from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jaquiski Tartt. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Chandler Jones in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, Hyde. And now running right through it. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long. 3rd and 15 to be exact. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Leckler now on as he'll punt this away. Lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now
and that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there. 45 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
That one good for 10 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Again, it's Johnson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Let's go! 319! 319! Over! Here we go now! Leopard! Here we go now! 319!
Now Trubisky on 1st down. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. And a long way to go for the offense here on 2nd down.
Here we go now! Green 39! No, check! Patriot!
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. Escaping the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Eric Armstead in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there, and that's exactly what happened on that play.
So as it turns out, that sack does not wind up costing him, at least in terms of getting points. They get 3.
Yeah, once you see your quarterback go down the backfield, you think, uh-oh. But fortunately for them, their kicker came to the rescue and made sure they got something out of that drive after all.
The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And this is their third drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Robert Kimdichie in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Telvin Smith in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Taking on the midfield logo. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And here now the offense heading back out there. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3 except in certain situations.
No quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. David Johnson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Two seconds to go, first quarter. They go play action now. Roethlisberger. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in third and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in third and manageable. They've got a chance at a first down.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And this will be taken at the 13. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. On second down, here's Trubisky. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle. And got his man, complete. That goes for a gain of 31. A first down carry here for Johnson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play there. Second down. Now Trubisky to throw on second. Flushed it. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Eric Armstead. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And let's look at Carlos Hyde now. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Telvin Smith in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And connection number 1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you're probably right. It may be all of that. They'll still call him Boney Tony, but Ben Roethlisberger calls him my number 1 target.
No gain, and it's second down. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Play action. It's Roethlisberger. He finds Humphreys. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receiver's eyes when he's throwing the ball.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that was a touchdown, 49ers. Carlos Hyde with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the 49ers have cut it back within a score. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll run it with Johnson, and he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Now, that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
Here we go. 3 and out.
Now a handoff, running off tackle right. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. We're just 2 minutes away from sending you to Orlando for Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report, so don't forget about that coming up shortly.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a halftime without him, and we thank him for doing the highlights. Let's go get a snack.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And dropped at the 35, but able to display some strength on the run. Calling an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Here we go now.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
Set. 3-19. Gone.
On first down. Trubisky. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Xavier Cooper forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And this one is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Trubisky will throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now Carlos Hyde gears up to take the field again. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? From the pistol, they'll run with Hyde. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Niners on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. Again, it's Hyde. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. And Brate, the tight end's got it. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. As the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. They'll run it now out of the gun. Hyde dancing past him. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And the 13-year man puts it through. Sorry, Larry, your hard work appreciated by so many men and women, but not today as we get back to the action in the second half. This is taken near the 13. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. This third quarter. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes And remember how it ended?
In a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
This one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points if you hold the football that long.
Agreed.
So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Now a play fake here on first down. Going deep for Moncrief. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
When you've got guys who can flat out run, sometimes all you say in the huddle is go. They ran the fly route, took the shot downfield, just unable to connect.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. Now a handoff, running off tackle right. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And they're going to speed things up here. They go play action. Trubisky. And he's got Moncrief. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Now a handoff, running off tackle right. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
Here we go. 3-19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go. Gun.
Play action. Now Trubisky. And he will take it in for the touchdown. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And
Extra point attempt to come here. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they just...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. He's going deep for Brown. And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
They go play action here on first down. He'll rifle this, and it's caught. Touchdown. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Telvin Smith, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Roethlisberger. And the pressure gets to him again. Telvin Smith in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Returnable here from the 38. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now back out comes the offense. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the score...
And this is taken in at the 5. A big play there. 52 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
On the toss, here's Johnson. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. David Johnson with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And the lead will grow by 1 more. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. And the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Attempt carry for Hyde. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really start to matter. They got to make some moves.
3rd down, Carlos Hyde. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And now a high kick trying to pin him back. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6. Play action. It's Trubisky. Going deep for Moncrief. This is caught inside the 15. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And now it's 2nd and goal. Williams will try again. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Andre Williams, his first touchdown on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And let's look at Carlos Hyde now. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Complete here, it's Hyde. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Chandler Jones in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And the stop here will come at the...
To do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground.
The Niners on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So a pretty big third down mistake right there.
No doubt about it, and everyone's going to be upset. But they have to get out of this now and go ahead and play. They could have someone come at them in a big way on the next down.
They'll run for it with Hyde. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. They try again with Hyde. That's some strong running. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, you know, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin, 4th quarter, you're going. And Gold is able to put it through. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Xavier Cooper forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. They go play action with Trubisky. He's going to wind up and air it out. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get in a big chunk.
But incomplete on that try. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Niners will go on offense 1st and 10. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Carlos Hyde was the target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Man open left side is Brown. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Chandler Jones in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the 2nd half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great. It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. He's going to look deep down the field. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Off the play fake, here's Trubisky. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Here's Andy Lee now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Now Carlos Hyde gears up to take the field again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They were winning at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination. They've got to do a better job up front and create some space, because they're right there, almost literally on their own goal line.
Just a couple of feet away from a safety. That could have been disastrous. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? And he said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Here's Hyde as they begin on the ground. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Brandon, that play certainly felt like what I call a tendency breaker. 1st and 10, they dial up a draw play. That's not a normal situation, but give credit to the defense. They weren't fooled at all and really finished off the play.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all.
He'll look to throw. He's got a man complete. He got 29 yards that time. And quickly, they get to the line. On play action, they'll throw. He'll rifle this one deep right, and that's caught inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
We got 3. 3 down. 3 down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. All right, here we go. Gun. Here we go now. Green.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. Flush to his right. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one. This defense can use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Ben on 3rd and long. That's complete. Middle of the field to Humphries. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause of the action. A timeout here defensively. Here's Shane Lechler now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team.
And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. 4th quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chandler Jones. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
All right, here we go.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And his throw is incomplete. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. And it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at about the 31. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, you start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. All right, this is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Chandler Jones in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Lechler now on as he'll punt this away. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. And tough starting field position here. Oh, Trubisky going to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up.
Man. Too broke to pay attention.